जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ। यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदा यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन। यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरा यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीराचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र से जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र मैया की श्री श्री गौर निताय की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th, Chapter 25th, The Characteristics of King Puranjan, Text 42nd. Kasyamanaste bhuvi bhogi bhogayoho striya na sajjet bhujayor mahabhuja yo anathavargadhimalam ghrunodhat स्मितावलोकेन चरत्यपोहितुं कस्यामनस्ते भुवि भोगी भोगयोः स्त्रिया न सज्जेद्भुजयोर्महाभुजा यो अनाथवर्गाधिमलं गृणोद्धत् स्मितावलोकेन चरत्यपोहितुं कस्यामनस्ते भुवि भोगि भोगयोः स्त्रिया न सज्जेद्भुजयोर्महाभुजा यो अनाथवर्गाधिमलं गृणोद्धत् स्मितावलोकेन चरत्यपोहितुम् माताजी's word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Tasyaha, whose, manaha, mind, te, your, bhuvi, in this world, bhogi bhogayoho, like the body of a serpent, striyaha, of a human, na, not, sajjet, becomes attracted, bhujayoho, by the arms, mahabhuja, o mighty armed, yaha, one who, anathavarga, of poor women like me, adhim, distresses of the mind, alam, able, gruna uddhata, by aggressive mercy, smita avalokena, by attractive smiling, charati, travels, apohitum, to dissipate. Translation: O mighty armed, who in this world will not be attracted by your arms, which are just like the bodies of serpents? Actually, you relieve the distress of husbandless women like us by your attractive smile and your aggressive mercy. We think that you are traveling on the surface of the earth just to benefit us only. Purport: when a husbandless woman is attacked by an aggressive man, she takes his action to be mercy. Woman is generally very much attracted by a man's long arms. A serpent's body is round and it becomes narrower and thinner at the end. The beautiful arms of a man appear to a woman just like serpents, and she very much desires to be embraced by such arms. The word Anatha Varga is very significant in this verse. Natha means husband and A means without. A young woman who has no husband is called Anatha, meaning one who is not protected. As soon as a woman attains the age of puberty, she immediately becomes very much agitated by sexual desire. It is therefore the duty of the father to get his daughter married before she attains puberty. Otherwise, she will be very much mortified by not having a husband. Anyone who satisfies her desire for sex at that age becomes a great object of satisfaction. It is a psychological fact that when a woman at the age of puberty meets a man and the man satisfies her sexually, she will love that man for the rest of her life, regardless who he is. Thus, so called love within this material world is nothing but sexual satisfaction. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class, or welcome to today's most romantic Srimad Bhagavatam class. Welcome to the world of romance. Anime, as a part of our discussion, we'll also discuss about 3 or 4 types of romances or romance. I don't know what is the plural of romance. The world knows only one romance maybe. So here we have been discussing in the 4th canto, 25th chapter, which is entitled The Characteristics of King Puranjan. An allegorical story is being described by Srila Narad Muni to King Prachini Bhari or King Prachini Bharishad. In this particular section, starting with 25th verse up to 44th verse, of which we are discussing 42nd verse, beautiful lady becomes Puranjan's queen. That's the description. So we know how when King Prachini Bharishad was very much into performing several sacrifices, and in that so many animals were slaughtered mercilessly. Pure devotees, they are naturally compassionate to all living entities. So that's why Narad Muni took compassion on all those uh, animals, and he comes and explains to King Prachini Bharishad, who is very much into karma kanda. So he cannot immediately grasp the message or instruction final order that stop all this. So he requires some roundabout way of telling. So that's why Narad Muni, who was an expert preacher, he knows how to preach according to time, place, circumstances. Here he uses an allegorical story which goes for some 5 chapters or so, in which he tells a person named Puranjan. So in one sense, there is nobody named Puranjan, but another sense, everybody is Puranjan, including women also. Here appears to be a man. He is in the manly body, but everybody who wants to enjoy independent of the Lord, he is compared to that Puranjan. So pure soul, who is part and parcel of the Lord in the Vaikuntha world, when he comes in this material world, passes through 8.4 million species of life. The way Srila Narad Muni describes, he comes to the south of Himalayas, to this Bharatavarsha, and particularly he finds, after wandering through so many other places, he comes to Navadwara Purai Dehi, one town which has a city which has 9 gates, which is nothing but a human body. So he enters in that, and there he finds this very beautiful girl loitering here and there. So he is attracted to her, and some conversation takes place. So, particularly here, earlier verse as well as these verses, they are talking about this woman is saying, glorifying him. This particular earlier verse says, "Oh my dear hero, who in this world will not accept a husband like you? You are so famous, so magnanimous, so beautiful, and so easily gotten." And in this verse, she says, "O mighty armed, who in this world will not be attracted by your arms, which are just like the bodies of serpents? Actually, you relieve the distress of husbandless women like us, and by your attractive smile and your aggressive mercy, we think that you are traveling on the surface of the earth just to benefit us only." So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary to this verse, apart from describing that analogy of serpent, etc., he says, with the jiva's consciousness, the intelligence and other factors have a protector. So, what Prabhupada is telling about women reaching or a girl reaching puberty and how they should be married from that point or even before. We find in the case of Srila Prabhupada, when one of his sisters had not even reached puberty, very soon to reach. So Mother Rajani, Prabhupada's mother, was quite concerned and she was very disturbed and she told her husband, Gaur Mohan De, that what is this? When are you going to get our daughter married? Very soon she will reach puberty. So if you don't get her married, I will commit suicide. So that puberty, whatever age, I don't know what age, but exactly something like 12, 13, 14 or something, whatever the age, that is quite early according to modern day calculations. Means that is the phase. So then that time is that is the time when the girl should be married to a husband, because as Prabhupada describes the woman psychology, we are not in the body of women, but from the scriptures we can learn everything. We don't have to personally undergo the experience, but the women psychology dictates that as they reach puberty, they are sexually driven. They get very much agitated by the sex desire. Same thing is with the boys also. They may reach puberty, whatever that age. Then they are also sexually agitated. And women, as they are told in the scriptures, to be protected. In the childhood, they are protected by father. And when they grow into youthful days, puberty or whatever, so then the father is not capable of protecting such young girl. He is little somewhat old then. Not according to modern day calculation, olden days, like father has 8, 10 children. So the last daughter who now has reached, let's say, to age 12, puberty or so. So that time the father will be quite old. He is not capable of giving protection to that young girl. So she requires young man. And who's that man? Her husband. So then he should hand over the daughter in Kanyadan to some young man, and then he will protect her because he is young man. He will protect his young wife. And then as she grows old, this husband is also grown old. And he also doesn't have capacity to protect wife. And more than that, according to Varnashram, he is supposed to go for Vanaprastha ashram. So who will protect such a woman? So then young sons, grown-up sons are there who are young then. So in all phases of woman's life, she is protected. In the childhood by parents, mother, father, and youthful days husband, and later on by her sons. So that is very much required. So if she is sexually agitated and the father is not getting her married, not even trying to get her married at that age, then she will go crazy. As we see in the modern day life also, though people say that is not the proper age to marry so early, 12, 13, 14 or something. In fact, in the olden days, children would be married in the childhood also. At the age of one of the Maharashtrian saints, she was disciple of Tukaram Maharaj. She got initiated in Drishtanta, in dream, Bahinabai. So she was married at the age of 3 only. And in fact, the man was 30 years older than her. He was quite a grown-up fellow, man, and then she was married to him. And then eventually she had children and all that. Very great saint. But anyway, so here it is the father's responsibility. So we see in the modern day life how so many girls, it is said that they are not, the body is not fit for producing children, having sex, etc. And then what do? They are loitering all over the streets, searching for some boy. And then they go, sometimes that may not work, then another boy. And they are exploited also by so many boys, because men, they are very exploitative, especially when they are not legally or formally married to a girl whose responsibility they have taken. Then they will be in the mood of enjoyment. Let us enjoy this girl, then throw her away, then second one, third one, fourth one. They will try to enjoy and they will cheat the women. And women are so much cheated in the world today. So one senior devotee is Grace Madhav Prabhu from Gokul Dham, Belgaum. He was telling, if only women are married or girls are married in the young age. We see in the olden times, even to some extent now also in certain states of India, as well as some remote villages, etc. Girls are married quite early. One of our ex-brahmacharis in Pune temple, he told me recently he's getting married. So his mother was married at the age of 14 or so. She's from Andhra Pradesh only. And she at the age of 15 had first son. and he, the second son, was at the age of 19. And the Mataji is completely healthy. She is not having problem by producing child at the age of 15. The puberty itself is the sign by nature and God that this girl is fit now to procreate children. Not that there is some deficiency in the body and all that. She is fit. Similarly, the males also, they have to be married also. Otherwise, though, they will go for illegal way of satisfying this sexual urge, and then it will create so much of chaos as we find in the world today. So he was telling Madhav Prabhu that three things will at once reduce and stop also if women are married at an early age. So he said CSD. In fact, that devotee who told me, his short form of his initiated name is CSD only. So that is C is for crime. So many crime happening all over the world. If you go at the root, you will find many times it is women. Sometimes it could be wealth also. Prabhupada also says in the first canto purport that women and wealth, these are two greatest obstacles for even practicing sadhakas on any yoga marg, whether jnana marg, yoga marg, or bhakti path. Many stalwarts have retreated from path of spirituality because of one of the two, or sometimes even two also, women and wealth. So crime can at once be reduced all over the world, and it can be made zero if only women are married at early stage of life. Suicide, so many suicides happen. So if you go in the root of that, many boys are frustrated in their love. The girl ran away with somebody else. This that happened, and then he commits suicide. And divorce, suicide is another also, like sometimes boys in the school and all that, because the mother is going for working and all that. So then so many problems come. So women, if only they are married early and husband takes responsibility of running the household duties, and women are at home taking care of children, so many young boys who get into prestigious institutes of India or all over the world, and then they feel so frustrated they commit suicide. So suicide rate will become quite less and zero only. And divorces, so many divorces, because the way it is told that let the girl have husband of her choice. When she's very small at the age of 3 4 or whatever, 8 9 10 puberty age, so then she doesn't have discrimination. Parents are only deciding, let her marry according to their discretion. Then poor girl, then she suffers and she has difficulty. We don't find that in Vedic times any women having to. We'd never hear our grandmother going for divorce, our great grandmother, no question. In the wildest of their dreams, they never thought about it. And these modern women, modern girls who are allowed to develop their thinking and eventually select a husband, so many difficulties they have, even including divorce rate is so high all over the world, now in India also. So all these things will reduce if only girls are married at the age of 12 14 or things like that. And so much of adultery happens in the world. So this culture, is very important in society. Prabhupada writes in one of the first canto purports that women are shy by nature. So especially if they are married in the early stage, as Prabhupada is telling very nicely. So that time when she is sexually agitated, she is duly married to husband, and husband will satisfy her through sex, and not just sex for pleasure, but for sex for procreation and not for recreation. There is no concept of contraceptives, etc. And she will get children. Women also like children, and she will be occupied. Otherwise, her mind will trouble her in different ways. So when she is occupied with so many children, 5, 6, 7, 8 children, so she will be very ideal lady if the husband is proper devotee also. Otherwise, so many problems happen at that age in the world we are seeing there. So man is also sexually agitated. His physiology is such that he also gets agitated. So if he is married and he produces children through his wife will be very much satisfied. And Prabhupada, as he says that it is a psychological fact that when a woman at the age of puberty meets a man and the man satisfies her sexually, she will love that man for the rest of her life, regardless who he is. That means regardless who is means what? He could be ugly, he could be black, he could be having some handicap, hand may not be there, leg may not be there. She got married at small age only. She will have absolutely no problem with all those physical looks, how much wealth he has, how much intelligence he has. These things carry no meaning to her, more than that satisfaction that her husband should provide at the age of puberty. But then all these other things are given so much importance. Let her see the man's beauty, his income, and physical power, this and that. And meanwhile, when she is not married, she reaches 16 age, 18 age, 20, 22, and nowadays so many. I have met girls, some girls. She's 32 years old. She's studying, and no. I asked her, "What about your marriage?" She said, "I never. I mean, I did not think about it." And I'm wondering when will she think. As a brahmachari, I asked her, and and she is not interested in marriage or means interested means she will do later on. So it creates so much of chaos in the society because we are not following Vedic system. Vedas are the word of the Supreme Lord, and He has given them for the benefit for all overall well-being of all living beings, not only just human being, and mainly for human beings how to behave. So that is all given. If we don't follow Vedas, then so much of chaos as we see in the world, that is seen. So it is said that by culture, shyness, women are protected. They remain within their limits, within the house. Mother Rajani, it is said, sunlight never touched her body. The modern day people, when they hear, oh my God, Mataji must be having vitamin D deficiency in her body then, and all that. What is the use of having vitamin D proper thing? And when the children are chaotic, she produced one boy, Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Okay, apparently there might be, we don't hear, but let's say there was some deficiency of vitamin D in Mother Rajni's body because sunlight never touched her because she would go to other places, if at all she would go, in a palanquin. So then sunlight is not touching in that sense. But more important is to produce children or child like Srila Prabhupada than having vitamin D and other perfect level. What's the use of all that? Because body is anyway going to die. Whether all A, B, C, D vitamin or E, F, G up to Z, all vitamins are perfectly there leveled in your body. Body is going to die. But while living, what contribution you do yourself as well as through your dependents like sons and daughters, etc. That is of more importance. So women remain shy, and then that is their protective armor. Otherwise, if they give up shyness and if they are provoked, as they are provoked in the modern day society, they can be so agitated. Chanakya Pandit says they can be 9 times lustier than men. And that's what we find also in the modern day. When they are sexually so provoked, their sex desire is not satisfied at the age of puberty. They just change men like anything. One after other, they will just throw one man, they'll go to second man, according to their own foolish consideration. So this is all topsy-turvy situation of the world today. So we'll find in Srimad Bhagavatam, somebody may object, oh, what kind of description here? So quite a sensuous description. Man's arms are like a long snake. Snake's body gets elongated, eventually gets narrower at the end and all that. Likewise, a woman feels the man's hands are narrowing like a snake. And a snake, if you embrace, then you get very cooling sensation. Certainly, one should not embrace because the snake bites, which is expert at, one will die on the spot. Let's say it is fangless, poisonous venom is removed. So then if embracing body of the snake may appear very cooling, etc. Similarly, this girl or woman who is sexually on fire, the fire of sexual agitation is burning her whole existence, her body. When she is embraced by the long arms of the man, she will cool. She will feel cool like that. So like that description is there. The way we have in the outside world or in the movies, romance is described. So we find some kind of romantic descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam also. So those people who are not having proper understanding of the Vedas, they have not heard from in a bona fide disciple succession, they may object, what nonsense. In fact, once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was asked such a question by one of the senior devotees of Radha Gopinath congregation, who was asked by one of his materialistic friend, that you fellows, what your Vedas are describing, man, woman, in fact, demigods also go here and there, apart from their wife, they have affair with somebody else's wife, and woman, they kidnap girls, and something like that descriptions are there. And you people also talk so much about all these things. So what kind of dirty fellows you are? Very bad fellows you are. So that devotee was asked, which he might have given an answer, but he felt like asking his Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So when His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj asked that question, so Maharaj said that we discuss such things to know how to avoid such things, how not to get into it, and how it can be entangling. So that part also has to be known. Just like Rishyashranga, that boy trained by his father Vibhandak, who had bad experience with one Apsara after giving birth to this child, she ran away. So he decided, I will train my boy, my son, as such a perfect brahmachari. He will never see any woman in his whole life. So 50 kilometers around in that forest where he was training his son as a brahmachari, there was no smell of women. But then poor fellow, that boy Rushashrang, because he did not know what is woman, eventually when girls were sent to him dressed as boys, Muni Kumaras, they touched him because they were sent with that intention to allure him, to agitate him sexually. And he did not know only what a girl in the world is. Then he got agitated to some extent. And then they said, why don't you come to our kingdom, just beyond that river? And he said, okay, such nice, beautiful Muni Kumaras, boys. They are not boys, they are all girls, but they were dressed as boys. So how can I say no? And he also felt some kind of thing in his body, sexual agitation, without knowing what exactly sex is. Then he went with them. And as soon as he stepped in that kingdom of Rompad Maharaj, immediately rains showered, because he was very pure brahmachari. He had never knowing also what is woman, etc. But then eventually he got married to Shanta, etc. And then he was the one who performed that big sacrifice for Dashrath Maharaj, by which Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, the four sons of Dashrath Maharaj, appeared in this world. They are all Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Vedic life also trains us, teaches us, talks about the other side. Vidya and Avidya, both should be known. And certainly one should embrace wholeheartedly Vidya. But what is ignorance, that also should be known. Otherwise, one is incomplete and one will fall prey to it at any time. So, Vedic literatures, Srimad Bhagavatam included, do talk about romances. Romance. So many stories are there, like we find in the case of Agnidhra, the son of Priyavrat. When he is meditating in the forest, one Purvachitti or some Apsara is sent by Brahma for whatever requirement of the Lord's service. So she comes and she is very beautiful. And this Agnidhra is kind of bewildered. And then he is talking to her, describing her bodily beauty. And he says that on your chest, what are these two horns? Means referring to the breasts of Purvachitti. And some kind of bewilderment and all that. So now it is directly focusing on the breasts of that Apsara. And in general, like that, so many things might be described. And we wonder, what is this? But by knowing this, because this is coming in Srimad Bhagavatam, who is speaking this after all? Though Agnidhra is speaking, but who has written Srimad Bhagavatam? Vedas. If you would have felt, oh, this is a very bad part, this should be deleted. Just like in movies, before they release the movie, there is that censor board. It seems they watch the whole movie and they sometimes may say, no, this part should be removed. This is not good for the society, etc. So, Vedas, generally Vedas is Shaktavesh avatar, but this Vedas in this millennium is Lord Narayan himself. So, why should he would have deleted if he felt that this is not, nobody knew anyway, Agnidhra was lakhs of years back. He could have deleted. Most of the population, 99.999% would have not known only this pastime. Agnidhra is saying like this, what are the two horns on your chest? So no, this is different. This is not like a mundane sexual affair. In the mundane materialistic movies, like one of the movies song, it says, choli ke piche kya hai? Oh my dear girl, what is there behind your blouse, like that. Though she, the heroine or the girl, says that, oh, there is my heart there, and in the heart there is the man there, whosoever she is in love with. But the way it is portrayed, it is so sensuous that, as soon as that word is heard, what is there behind your blouse? So as far as physiology goes, then she is talking about her psychology. But people will think in a physiological way only. And so they are made to meditate on different private parts of women, or women are made to meditate on the private parts of the men to sexually agitate them, so that the movie will be very famous, and in a sense it will be having lot of viewers, and they will earn lot of money. That is their root cause, the root purpose. So this romance of this world, as Prabhupada says last line, the so-called love within this material world is nothing but sexual satisfaction. This is not romance in the true sense, or this is not love at all. This is lust. Atmendriya priti vancha tare bolikam, Krishnendriya priti icha dhare premanam. So our eternal constitutional position is, we are not these bodies, we are not even mind, intelligence and false ego, we are spirit souls. Jivera swarupa hai Krishna re nitya das. We are his servants and we should satisfy him, serve him. Then only we can be happy in the true sense. Otherwise, all these sensuous affairs, one goes on life after life. In every species, one goes for mating, whether legally or illegally, and he can never be satisfied. The soul can never be satisfied. He will burn. So many places Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, dushpurena analena cha. The lust is such, it is all devouring. Mahashano, Mahapapma, Vidhena Miha Vairinam is the greatest enemy of the living entity. And when we go for these Bollywood movies, people go for Bollywood movies or so-called romance stories in the novels or anywhere heard, seen, discussed, etc. It's all polluting the heart. Already the Jiva is away from Vaikuntha here in this material world to enjoy independent of the Lord. And this is what only enjoyment he knows. Sensuous, to some degree mental satisfaction, to some degree higher than. Very few will go for intellectual satisfaction, pleasure like Einstein, some scientists, and false egoistic platform. But this is not the pleasure of the soul at all. These are all pleasures of the conditioned souls who thinks I am body, I am mind, I am intelligence, I am false ego. So soul's pleasure is in serving Lord. And when Lord is satisfied, then the soul is happy automatically without even trying to satisfy any one of his senses. Yasmin tushtya jagat tushtam. When Krishna is satisfied, yatha taror mula nishechanena, when the water is poured at the root of the tree or food is put in the stomach of the body, then all the parts of tree or body, they flourish fully. There is no need of putting gulab jamun in the eyes and shrikhand in the ears. That will create dysfunction in the body. The way is to put the food in the stomach, and the way is to pour the water at the root of the tree. So that is required. But then so many things, the mundane romance, the way it is said, so that is lust only. That agitates the conditioned soul further. Even in Bhagavatam it is said that Najatu kama kamanam shammena upabhogati havisha krishna vartmeva bhuya eva abhivardate. That a kamanam of a lusty fellow's kama, his lusty desire, na jatu, are never satisfied. Shamena upabhogati, by upabhog, by enjoying whatever the lust he has for some material desire, let's say sex desire. So by satisfying his sex desire, he is not satisfied. Apparently for now he appears to be satisfied. No. He gives example of Havisha Krishna Vartmeva. In a Yagya Kund, Havishanna is put, some kind of fuel, like let's say ghee, is poured. That will not extinguish the fire. Rather it will increase it all the more. Bhuya eva abhivardate. So all the lusty ways, the way the world portrays the satisfaction. You will be satisfied if you see this movie, that movie, or lust basically. The soul will never be satisfied. Conditioned soul will become more agitated. So the first romance that we are discussing of the materialistic world, it is not romance actually. So the second romance that appears in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, that we already discussed to some extent, like Agnidra, and some other places are also there where such a discussion come. So that we have to understand that who is writing, Vedavyas, Lord Narayan himself, and also Shukadeva Goswami, the purest of the pure brahmacharis, he is speaking it. Who is saying that? Agnidra is saying, oh my dear woman, what are the two horns on the chest of the on your chest? Whose lips are emanating these words? Shukadeva Goswami. Who is he? He is a pure brahmachari. As soon as he was born 16-year young boy. At once he left for forest. Absolutely no interest in material life, in sensuous pleasures. And then father Vayasdev ran behind. Oh Putra, Putra, where are you going? And then on the way there was a lake and there were young girls undressed, naked. They were taking bath. So Shukadeva Goswami looked on all those girls who were bathing. They looked at him. He was also naked because he just born without clothes. So he saw their body, but he did not see the body. What did he see? The soul only, because he was self-realized. He was on Brahman platform. So the body has no consequence only to him. So then he looked, because on the way, whatever comes will look. So he looked in that way and then he passed by. And those girls also who were naked and he was young of their age, they were also very glorious, Vedic girls. They saw a young man, beautiful. Shukadeva Goswami is not some ugly person, and fully naked. They were not agitated at all. They could see in this man there is no lust, there is no trace of lust. So they did not even think of covering their bodies, etc. They just went on with their business. So in Srimad Bhagavatam is written by Vasudev, it is recited by Shukdev Goswami, purest of, and in this particular case also, here also the words are emanating from the lotus lips of Srila Narad Muni, who is like eternal brahmachari. We know about him. So what a pure brahmachari. In fact, he has produced thousands of brahmacharis. One time show, 10,000 brahmacharis. Next second, one time show, 1,000 brahmacharis. Haryashwad and Shavalaswad. What a powerful one. Only a powerful brahmachari can produce in such huge quantity. So many, also pure, not only quantity, quality is also pure. So we can see Narad Muni speaking, and we understand this is not to be seen in that way. Like, to give material example, like a mother may see the naked body of her son. So there is no agitation there. So the body is naked. Similarly, if one goes to a doctor, a male patient may have to be fully naked in front of a lady young doctor. And she may test also different parts of her body, touching, so this is different. This is not some sexual affair. He is patient and she is the doctor. So we don't see here with that vision, lusty vision like that. One of our not our Pune, but some other place, he was he was a servant of his spiritual master, and spiritual master travels like anything, so he was also traveling. So in one sense, he did not have any particular temple as his own temple, because he was just traveling only. But once it so happened, at one point of time, he developed some disease for which operation was required, and when he underwent operation, he was not able to function. So neither could he stay in some temple. There was no brahmachari or somebody to take care of him, so he had to stay at home. And at home, his mother, old lady, he is a young brahmachari, I don't know the age that time, whatever the age, 25, 30, 32, whatever. So she, mother, old lady, she did everything for him, bathing him and all that, because he was in a helpless condition. In fact, she said also, what kind of your temple did not support, and I am taking care, you are supposed to take care of me, and I am taking care of you. At this age, I am old, and I did all this for you because you are my son, I love you and all that. He also changed then from saffron to white. But your mind might be disturbed, because you can understand, one undergoes such situation, physical health issues, when one cannot dress himself, bathe himself and all that. So now when she is bathing her son, who is so young, naked and all that, and all the genital, etc., she is not agitated. His son, my son only. Similarly, one of the brahmacharis had to bathe his body of his mother. She was old and in a helpless condition. So he did it. Sometimes husband, I think our this Prabhu, Prabhupada's personal servant, Chutakirti Prabhu, he had to bathe his wife, Mataji's name I don't know, but all that, because she was in a helpless condition. She developed some disease and all that. So when we see in these cases, one is seeing the naked body, the way materialistic lusty fellow will look at such people, the person who is involved, he is not looking in that way. Because it is not always lust. The look matters. What is the outlook? So to the degree one is polluted, as here we find, he is having polluted consciousness, this soul, Puranjan. And she is also lusty intelligence. If you see, analyze in different way, here there are man and woman are not involved. First of all, there are nobody involved here, because it's allegorical story. But supposing, understanding that this is story of everyone, so here there are not one man, one woman. That is intelligence. That is within the system only. Within the system. But it acts like a female. It's very attractive, and it gives proposal for satisfying one's sexual, sensual desires. So that way there is a problem. So one has to analyze the thing very properly also. Or some gynecologist doctor. We have brahmacharis in our temple. One was gynecologist. So gynecology means delivery of the women. So seeing that private part and all that. But that look is different only. That is not some sexual affair there. She is going through pain, and the child, is a most awaited moment of life, and they help, because they know the science how to help the lady to deliver the child. Similarly, one had done some PGDMS course like that. So there also the pregnant lady's genital has to be observed in order to see when the delivery will take place and all that. So in this situation, the look is different. Certainly, according to law and all, such a doctor, when he is checking the lady patient, there should be one more person there, like her mother or somebody, so that, because because of the polluted mentality. Sometimes there may be something wrong done. So one vision is a fleshy outlook, a fleshy eyeball outlook. That is called a charma chakshu. So through charma chakshu, through these fleshy eyeballs, one may look lustfully. But beyond that are jnana chakshu or shastra chakshu. When we hear from the spiritual master, or let's say here, Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni, Shukdev Goswami, Ved Vyas, and down the line, Prabhupada and all the acharyas, when we hear such apparently sensuous affairs, we don't fall prey or we don't see through charma chakshu. We see through shastra chakshu. And shastra chakshu gives the vision to penetrate beyond. That's a very special vision. Just like X-ray. Now if you see the man's body looks everything fine only. But he may be having some ribs broken in his chest, which only X-ray will reveal. Because the X-rays go beyond flesh and beyond even something like bones. It goes through and through like that. So scriptures give us shastra chakshu, by which we can go beyond. Not that you see them some private part of man, woman or something. Then you see beyond. The body is functioning and attractive only because of the soul. And not just because of the soul, beyond soul, super soul. The fact of the matter is, first super soul leaves the body. Then soul leaves the body. And then all the functions of the body apparently stop like that. Because how can Paramatma be the servant of Yamraja or Yamdutas? Yamdutas are telling, so now you get out of the body because his time is over. No, Paramatma is no, he's the supreme personality of God. It is supreme Lord only, the localized aspect. So he leaves the body because he knows. Yamaraj also, how does he know? He knows because he's in touch with the super soul. So super soul leaves body and then Yamadutas take out the soul and then the bodily functions stop and then the soul is taken. So the scriptures give us penetrating vision way beyond, Shastra Chakshu. And beyond that is Premanjana Churita Chakshu. Third, the topmost, which pure devotees have. So they just don't see the flesh, they don't see just the soul, but they see the super soul, and beyond that, the topmost, supreme personality of Godhead. Sthavar Jangam dekhi na dekhi taramurti, sarvatra hayanija ishtadeva spurti. A pure devotee does not see the moving and non-moving things or people of this world. He sees his Ishtadev, his adored Lord, everywhere. Everywhere he sees that. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that. We find in the case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu two pastime. One, when he was somewhere in near Itota, Yameshwar Tota. So one point of time he heard a very beautiful melodious voice, somebody glorifying Lord Jagannath in poetry. He got so charmed. Oh, who is that? Bhurida, Bhurida. He's satisfying my thirst for Krishna. So he started running, not knowing who the person is. And actually, who was the person? A young, beautiful girl, Devadasi. Now, he did not know. He was just carried completely by internal consciousness. So he started running with high speed to embrace that devotee, glorifying Bhurida, Bhurida, just like he did for Pratap Rudra. That you are very magnanimous, you give me Krishna through this song, etc. But Govinda, who was nearby, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant, he was shocked. My God, Mahaprabhu will embrace the girl. That will be horrible because he's a sannyasi. Sannyasi cannot touch a girl or a woman. So Govinda started running behind Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu is very tall, 7 feet, and he steps, and that too is in ecstasy. Running like anything. But Govinda running. There are no match only. Govinda is short and he cannot run, and he doesn't have that ecstasy that Mahaprabhu has. And after all, is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So then the distance was increasing only. So Govinda understood he is going out of control. And he will touch the girl, embrace, and it will become horrible. So then immediately Govinda took the another way, that is shouting. Voice can reach where our body cannot reach. Immediately shouted, Mahaprabhu, that's a woman. Woman. I'm like, my God, more than 20,000 volt, what we find on the electric pole. And then he did not, the woman was far. Then he caught hand of Govinda. Govinda, you saved my life. If you would not have cautioned me and I would have done what I was about to do, embrace that girl, means without knowing that she's girl, I would have committed suicide. Because for a sannyasi to touch a woman is worse than suicide. Suicide is also okay because it removes only gross body. It will remove his fame, and fame means he is not concerned about his fame, he is concerned about the reputation of the Lord. For the sake of glorifying the Supreme Lord, one takes sannyas. And the sannyas is meant for that only, with his body, mind and words. But then through such action, it would have been the greatest reputation to the Lord's mission. Shukla vastre masi bindu jaise na lukai sannyasira alpachidra sarvaloke gai. Just like on a white cloth, small drop of ink uh, gives some kind of, people always talk. Such beautiful, such a huge dhoti kurta is there. People will always say, even devotees, Prabhu, what happened? And there is ink dot. They will not say so much of white dhoti and kurta is there. They will only talk about a small masibindu. Similarly, sannyasira alpachidra, little loophole in his character, and particularly with women, sensual, or maybe money. So that will be not glorified, but that will be talked in a wrong way all over the three worlds. And then reputation, ill reputation of a sannyasi is naturally the ill reputation of the Supreme Lord, of the Guru Parampara and everything. So Mahaprabhu thanked Govinda, catching his hand. Thank you, like that. So here we find how Mahaprabhu behaves. But another instance in Jagannath temple, when he was taking darshan near Garud Stamba, one and huge crowd, very huge, thousands of people were there taking darshan of Jagannath. One short Odishan lady was there. She wanted to take darshan of Jagannath. She was way behind Garud Stamba. She was not able to get darshan only. So then in her enthusiasm, eagerness, she just climbed on the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. And ultimately, after climbing, her one foot was on Mahaprabhu's shoulder and another foot was on Garud Stamba, Garudji's body, like that. And she was very happy. I am now getting darshan, proper darshan of Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu was also in ecstasy. He is also observing. He doesn't know only that meanwhile some lady climbed on his body. There, earlier, he would have touched. So there is so much concern. Now here she has already touched. She has climbed on his body. She is standing there. And then Govinda observed. And he, what is this? He is a sannyasi. How can some woman touch? Not only touch, she is using him as her servant also. She's using him as a step kind of. He said, hey, foolish lady, get down. What nonsense is that? So then Mahaprabhu came to external consciousness that Govinda is shouting. Why is he shouting? So then he observed that lady has climbed on his shoulder. So then immediately he said, hey Adivasya, you, what you call, aborigine, low class man, don't you understand? Just see the eagerness she has for taking darshan of Jagannath. I wish I had such eagerness for taking darshan of Jagannath. This is glorious. But what happened? Meanwhile, she had climbed down. When he shouted, she climbed down. But Mahaprabhu realized, and Mahaprabhu chastised him. So here we find how the look is. How here she is old, and not that he wanted to allow her, but she was eager. So the spiritual side is seen, and that is glorified. So the third romance, second romance is like this, and we are taught to see Shastra Chakshu. Like Shipa Shankaracharya says, Nari stana bharam nabidesham društva maga mohavesham etam mamsa vasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya bharam bharam. Don't just focus on women's breasts and thin waist, etc. and get agitated. Etam mamsa vasadi vikaram. These are just the transformation of flesh, blood, etc. Manasi vichintaya bharam bharam. The materialistic society makes one think of the flesh only. Whereas Sripad Shankaracharya offering us Shastra Chakshu as one of our gurus, he is telling, think that behind this, in a sense, this is made of just flesh and bones only. If the beautiful woman dies and her body is allowed to remain like that, it will disintegrate, and all that breast and waist or whatever it is, it will all just be visible in the form of earth, water, air, fire, ether, and mind, intelligence, false ego is anyway gone with the soul. Only Pancha Mahabhut will be visible. So the scriptures teach us the higher vision. That is Shastra Chakshu, and beyond that, Premanjana Churita Chakshu. So the third romance is of Lord Krishna in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are Ras Leela chapters, also 5 chapters. Now when the devotees, even within ISKCON and all that, when they read, and they may get agitated, what is this? Krishna is embracing gopis or whatever is happening there. So they may get agitated. It is not Krishna's problem. It is our problem. We are filled with lust. So we think I am Krishna and I am embracing some gopi or some girl like that. That's why there is agitation in the body. If we know you are not Krishna, you are only part and parcel. You should go there and assist Krishna in having better romance there. He is having best romance anyway, but just to get personally benefited, one should go there. But we put ourselves in that situation, then we are agitated. So for such devotees, it is recommended, okay, don't read those 5 chapters, Rasa Panchadhyay. But some point of time in life, we have to come to the level of going beyond all these nasty observations, means Charma Chakshu vision, and even beyond, not just developing Shastra Chakshu or Gyanan, what do you call, Shastra or what is the other one? This thing, Shastra Chakshu or Gyan Chakshu. So beyond that, Premanjana Churita Chakshu. We want to be gopis in Krishna's Raslila. And we are every day participating in Raslila for 2 non-stop hours. Early morning when we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is supreme romance. Chanting Hare Krishna is the topmost romance in the creation a jiva can experience. Prema Bhakti. So I'll explain some meaning which I don't explain, but I'll explain here, which I heard from his spiritual master. I'll add little explanation, description which he doesn't give. He gives a simple explanation of Hare Krishna mantra. I have heard once and I love it, the topmost. Till now, I have not found better explanation than this of the supreme romance in the form of chanting Hare Krishna. So he told in a very simple note like that. When we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because there are Hare Krishna and Ram, so Krishna is there and Ram is there. So we are praying, oh my dear Krishna, the all attractive one, please attract me to you. Basically we are all attracted to so many things of this world. So Krishna is all attractive. So please attract me to you and enjoy me, because he's Ram, the reservoir of pleasure. Enjoy me. Enjoy. So then over a period of time, whatever I felt, devotees can correct. But basically we are all Krishna's eternal servants. We are also those who are in Madhurya Ras, they are the gopis. So in the romance, as we find in the Bollywood movies, or as well as anywhere, so the man will he will go close to the woman or girl is in his romance. And then if he's shy, not talking about Hollywood movies and not talking about modern day movies, olden movies. So in that she feels shy and she goes away, and then he again approaches her like that. And then she likes that, he pulls her towards her and enjoys her in some way. So the same meaning is there in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that Krishna will pull us towards him and then he will, whatever, kiss us, embrace us like that. Because we are after all his, and he is our eternal husband, or not even husband, paramour. A husband also, that is Swakiya Ras. This is Parakiya Ras, in which the marriage has not happened. So this is the supreme explanation. This is fourth, the topmost romance, or you can say third only, Krishna's romance in general or in particular with the jivas. So we are so blessed. Here we find, now if you go ahead, here it appears very sensuous. But if you go in the next chapter, or in this last verses, in this chapter, 25th chapter, 62nd verse, in this way King Puranjan was captivated by his nice wife and was thus cheated. Indeed, he became cheated in his whole existence in the material world. Even against that poor foolish king's desire, he remained under the control of his wife, just like a pet animal that dances according to the order of its master. So this is 25th chapter, last verse. Now you go to the next chapter, 26th chapter, describes how one day he went for hunting, giving up his wife at home. Then he goes, and she's also disturbed because of that. He just left me. So he goes and he hunts many animals, etc. in the forest. So there Prabhupada says, the hunting process is also carried on in different way. As we have already explained, hunting women, drinking different types of liquor, becoming intoxicated, killing animals, and enjoying sex all serve as the basis of modern civilization. So all this, a conditioned jiva goes for hunting, means this. Now when he returns back, meanwhile she is not found. He takes bath and all that. He's asking, where is the queen, to other maid servants in the house. So she is upset there. And the way Narad Muni explains, as I understood, she is the same lady, but now she is portrayed as a chaste lady. And she doesn't like her husband going haywire, in a sense, in all wrong directions and all that. So she corrects him. Or he also says in one place, 4:26:16, he's asking those girls there, those women, kindly let me know the whereabouts of that beautiful woman who always saves me when I am drowning in the ocean of danger. By giving me good intelligence at every step, she always saves me. So what is this? This is good intelligence. That means the intelligence which is nourished by Guru, Sadhu and Shastras. So same. So our intelligence only currently is lusty intelligence, by which ideally the soul is way beyond, but above the dull senses, above the working senses is the mind. Above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul. So if you see, the intelligence is very lusty, then the mind, who is product of the mode of goodness, and he's a bhola bhala fellow, innocent fellow. But then problem with him also is he's backed up by false ego. There lies the problem. But then this lusty intelligence tells the mind, gives the very expert ideas how to satisfy your material desires. And it can be in a crooked way, it can be illegal way, it can be criminal ways, all that. So intelligence is a big threat, big problem. But same intelligence, when we use for hearing scriptures, hearing from Guru, it gets purified. Then it is called as purified intelligence. And this purified intelligence acts as the friend of the soul and gives him the ideas how to flourish in your spiritual life, how not to go for wrong thing. That test is also not there now. And now he is going for very nice spiritual activities, and he elevates like anything. And we find in the next chapters how this Puranjan elevates himself. Then, certainly he is attached to his wife, then he gets next body and all that. So likewise, we have to understand the scriptures properly and know how this is not a sensual affair here. Bhagavatam is there having A to Z. And now I don't remember what is A for, something like astrology, astronomy, then B for whatever. So romance is also there in Bhagavatam. Z is also there up to. The devotees have made that chart, you might have seen. A to Z in Srimad Bhagavatam. So why? Not to putrefy our mind, but to purify our mind. Though it appears like a romantic thing, and one may become, to the degree he is lusty, he may think, a woman may feel lusty. What is this? Man's long arms like serpent are embracing me, and then there can be some physical outcome of that also in the body. That is all because of the lust which is there in our heart. But that lust gets purified when we hear from pure devotee spiritual master. He has the ability, because he is pure devotee. He purifies our intelligence. He purifies our whole existence. That's why we read scriptures. So our scriptures, we should know how they are presented. And also we should be able to defend the position of the scriptures, which people outside misunderstand, because they think, what is this? So much sensual affairs are given in Bhagavatam. You fellows are no less. You are also watching or reading porn movies in your scriptures. These are not porn movies at all. These are pure movies. And they have to be read, they have to be heard, they have to be recited. In last chapter of Raslila, 5th chapter, last verse, what our Shukdev Goswami says, Vikriditam Vrajavadu Viridam cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito Anushranayad Atavarnayedya Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Rudrogamashu Apahinoti Achirena Dhiraha. So he says that if these pastimes of Krishna, the gopis with Supreme Vishnu. He is purposefully using the word Vishnu, because gopis had nothing to do with Vishnu. One point of time in Raslila, when Krishna disappeared, Krishna posed himself as four-handed Narayan form. And other gopis, in one sense, they were diverted. But when Radharani came and asked, where is my Krishna? Again, Krishna in the form of four-handed Narayan, he said, that direction. But then he could not cheat Radharani, because so much love for Krishna, that two hands melted, and then he appeared as Sham Sundar Krishna. And then Krishna was exposed. So gopis, though they saw Vishnu, they are not saying, how can we serve you and all. They are saying, where is Krishna? They are attracted to Krishna only. But to make it clear to us that Krishna is not some young boy playing sports with some girls, means sexual affair. He is Vishnu, source of all Vishnus. So if these pastimes of Krishna with the gopis with Krishna are heard with faith in parampara and are recited in that parampara only, exactly in parampara as it is, as the acharya is present, then it will purify one very soon. Ashu also and achirena, both words mean the same only, to emphasize how very quickly the heart will be purified. And then this rudrog, the rudhay rog is not heart attack. People foolishly think the biggest rudrog is lust, which everybody has. Heart attack, only few people have heart blockages and they experience heart attack. But everybody has this rudrog, disease of the heart called lust. Even men, women, children, everybody, every soul has it. One who has material body, except pure devotees. So rudrogam ashu apahinoti achirena dhira. One will become dhira. Sober person is not bewildered. There it says by such a change. But sober person is not bewildered. He never gets bewildered. So when we read such description, especially when we read through acharyas, then we should not get bewildered. We should know what it is for. It purifies us. It doesn't putrefy at all. It's for purification of the entire world. So we should learn this and present it in that way so that everybody else also gets purified. So I'll end here. Any question? He has a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
ask me humble this. So, in Nectar of Devotion, 64 items are mentioned. So, out of which again Lord Chaitanya extracted 5 items. And the fifth one is stay in a place where the Lord's Leelas are going on. So,
Mathura was.
so how it is related to ashrama? Can you please
How is
share
it
for
related to?
everybody's benefit? How it is related to ashram, Gorastha ashram,
Grihastha ashram.
or any ashram?
Acha. So he can bring the deities at home. So Lord is residing in your house. So that is holy place. And he can worship the deities, which is very much recommended for grihasthas. Apart from charity and inviting guests, etc., they should worship the deities at home. So then the Lord in your house, the Lord, that is holy place. In fact, devotees can also be invited because tirtha bhuta swayam vibho. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani swantastena gadabruta. As you make advancement, let's say a grahastha is Kanishta Adhikari. But as he progresses to Madhyam Adhikari, he will develop the vision by which he has those 4 buddhis. I don't know, now time is less. But Atma Buddhi, Mamta Buddhi, Ijja Buddhi and Tirtha Buddhi. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in Jaiva Dharma book that Yasyatma Buddhi Kuna Petri Dhatuke. I am telling in very short. So the 4 buddhis are condemned in Bhagavatam. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives positive side, Madhyam Adhikari's vision. He has 4 buddhis. Atma Buddhi. I belong to devotees. I am devotees' property. Mamata Buddhi. Devotees are mine. They belong to me. Then Ijja Buddhi. Devotees are worshipable. Not just Prabhupada to be worshipped. Prabhupada has to be worshipped. He is the founder Acharya. He is eternal associate of Mahaprabhu and all. But every other devotee should also be worshipped. They are chanting Hare Krishna. They are worshipable. It is said, anybody says, after 100 years or 100 lifetimes I will chant Hare Krishna. Immediately Brahmaji blows conch. Pung! And he takes incense stick. He starts rotating around his body for 7 times. Then he takes ghee lamp 4 times to the lotus feet of this person who has promised after 100 lifetimes will chant Hare Krishna. Then, Brahmaji does full arti with argyam, with vastram, with flowers, with vyajan, with chamar, with vyajan, and at the end blows conch again. The arti is over. For what? The promise, of not even promise, whatever just statement that after 10 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes, I will chant Hare Krishna. So that is Brahma, our head, first Acharya in our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Samaj. He treats that person like that. How should we treat other devotees? Devotees are so worshipable. Ijja Buddhi should be there. That is there with Madhyama Adhikari because he is free from committing offenses. He conscientiously avoids all offenses. He respects everyone, and what to speak of respecting devotees. He'll respect them the most. So Ijja Buddhi and Tirtha Buddhi. Devotees are themselves holy place personified. Why should I run around to Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan, Mayapur and Tirupati and Divya Deshams, 108 Divya Deshams? This is all not required. Tirthayatra Parishrama Kevala Manera Brahma. I take pleasure in describing this because so many devotees keep roaming around here and there. Okay, if there is preaching purpose, that's okay. Taking some boys or grahasthas. Because here in this situation, we call them for Sunday. If you tell them Yatra, Hari Bol, 10 days, Prabhu, how will you manage leaves? That you don't worry, Prabhu. We'll tell our boss, we'll do everything. So they like, because we have wandered through 8.4 million species of life and millions of universes. So after coming in this gross body also, mind is wandering. So people want to go. And after becoming devotee, you cannot go to Honolulu, Switzerland, Ooty, Mysore, etc. So then Vrindavan, Mayapur, something like that. So that contamination to some degree is there, but okay, no problem. It is being doubted in a proper way. So then Tirthayatra Parishram is just, what you call, so much of Parishram, hard labor. Kevala Manera Brahm, Narottam Das Thakur is telling in Prem Bhakti Chandrika. It's an illusion of the mind. So no need to run around here, there. Invite Vaishnavas to your house. You are a grahastha, it is your duty. Invite devotees, other grahasthas. Better is to invite brahmacharis and best is to invite sadhus, gurus, etc. I'm not saying the others are wrong. others are also fine. Anybody who can enlighten you in a Krishna consciousness, that is a devotee. So invite them, feed them prasad, discuss Krishna Katha. So that way your house becomes a Tirtha Kshetra. If you are a Madhyamadikari. Otherwise, one Kanishtadikari will always condemn other devotees. What kind of devotees they are like this. That is a very low level of consciousness. Though apparently one appears to be a devotee. One should elevate his consciousness to higher levels to be able to respect everyone. Then only one can chant 24 hours a day. Amanina manadenam. No respect, expecting respect for oneself and always respecting others. Is that okay? Yes. Any other? Yes. Okay.
One small question. Prabhuji,
Question may be small. Answer not necessarily.
Prabhupada told all three dhams are here when he...
All?
All three dhamas are
yes.
here only. So, if we just spend our life throughout all the life here only,
Yes.
and if we are doing parikrama, all three dhamas we are doing
Yes,
parikrama.
yes.
If we feel
Yes.
that really,
Yes.
what is wrong
But
in that?
great soul like you may do that every day. Yeah. But there are so many other grahasthas who will not be able to do that every day coming to temple. So they should make their house only into temple by getting the lords. At least one deity, either Gaur Nitai or Radha Krishna or Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Those who are very senior and very elevated, some grahasthas are there, so many are there, who have all three set of deities also in their house. Radha Krishna also there, Gaur Nitai also there, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra also there. So they are very elevated because to take care, look after so many deities, how do they manage along with family responsibilities, job and social functions to attend, etc. They are very glorious. So most of the grahasthas will not be able to make it daily to temple visiting. You are very fortunate by Shishi Radha Madan Mohan's grace. But others need to have holy place in their own house.
All your mercy, all of your mercy.
That is your
Devotees' mercy,
humility.
that is,
We appreciate your humility. Yeah, Sar Shivani Prabhu has a question.
Hare Krishna.
So we see that generally, is when we read scriptures, we try to come out of bodily consciousness, but again
We should not miss, sorry to interrupt, we should not read to come out a bodily concept of life. Like I read Prabhupada books and I read, because Prabhupada worked so hard for me. He wrote these books for myself, not for himself. He was Bhakti Vedanta. So let me reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada's hard endeavor for me. It's for my deliverance. He wrote these books painstakingly like that. And the purification will automatically happen. Why to focus on our purification? Again, we are self-centered in one sense. Let's read for Lord's pleasure. Lord has given, in fact, Vedvas has written, Vedvas, and then Shukdev Goswami has recited. Parikshit Maharaj heard for 7 continuous days and nights. I cannot do with that way, but at least in whole life, let me read Bhagavatam once. We don't have to worry about purification of ourselves. That will automatically happen. Automatic. Because if we bathe Sarvatma Snapanam, if we just bathe ourselves in the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, Harinam, automatically we will be purified. When we are not engaged in Krishna conscious activities, that is the time Maya attacks us, because Jahan Krishna taha nahi Maya radhikar. When Krishna is not there, then Maya is there, then Maya purifies us further. So we don't have to worry about our purity. That is automatically inward. We should worry about how am I engaged in serving the Lord for His satisfaction. Okay, now you may ask the question in case it is not answered. Sorry for interrupting.
yeah, basically it
Because I
was,
feel so many places I go, many people keep talking about, Prabhu, I am not feeling ecstasy, I am not getting purified, and so many problems I have. But how nicely are you performing your devotional service? How much are you hearing your guru? How much are you following your seniors? That, no, that, then the faults. Oh, my senior has this fault, and the guru is not available only. But he is there in the form of audio lectures. How much you hear daily? So if you just wholeheartedly embrace the spiritual practice, Maya doesn't remain only. Jahan Krishna Tahan Nahi. Maya has no, she is Dasi. She will salute you and she will say, go ahead, you are doing well. Like that. So let us focus our attention, our energy on positive Krishna conscious activities.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Praji, it's just like in the class we were discussing that girls should get married earlier in their life. But so one practical problem in our ISKCON scenario, which I am thinking, like if girls get married early, then boys also have to get married early. In that case, it will be very difficult to make any more brahmacharis. And then,
Yeah, we are powerful brahmachari preacher.
and then Prabhuji, further problem is, in our training also, we say that boys should complete their study, then they should work for some time, and by the time they go through all this, they're already exposed to so much bad culture outside. Then even if they join ashram, they struggle for many years because of that impressions. So just like we are saying that girls should get married early, should there be any system of making brahmacharis also early? This knowledge should be given them to early.
Kaumaram Achrit Pragyo. What is Prabhupada purport saying?
No,
At the age
but,
of 5 only, he should go to Gurukul.
And that is scripturally correct.
Yeah, so
But
in
our
ISKCON also.
system
Now also
wise-
I'll ask you, how many ISKCON Grahasthas will agree after hearing this class or after reading all books of Prabhupada? How many of them will agree to get their daughter married at the age of, before, let's say whatever, 22, 23? Very few Grahasthas are convinced. Now one is Hari Leela Prabhu in Mayapur. So he got his son married, Miss that Mataji, the girl, she was 16 years when engagement took place. It seems the laws are there by which girl cannot be married before 18. Something I think laws are there. So they got engaged, her engaged at the age of 16. And his son was, I don't know what are the age, whatever the age, 20, 22. And after 2 years, when she reached 18 age, which is allowed according to law, then they got married. She was 18 and he was whatever, 22, 23. So he is one very powerful. All of us have heard him. What classes he gives, my God, very powerful Vanaprastha kind of devotee, Speaks like a sannyasi only. So he is one such shining example. Most others will not. And even the daughters themselves, they will oppose their father. What, Papa? I am initiated devotee, that is enough. I want to do MBBS, I want to do MD and DM and what not. So much materialistic consciousness, ambitions are there with ISKCON devotees. Even brahmacharis are motivated by materialistic ambitions within their brahmachari life. So much of contamination is there because we don't read Prabhupada books daily. So then naturally the Maya is bombarding like anything. She is not leaving anyone. You be a brahmachari or even sannyasi. Even sannyasi will not be spared. So don't think that it will happen. Like somebody challenged Prabhupada, if all people become devotees, then what will happen to the world? It's like saying whole world become doctors. Who will become doctor? Even to become one doctor is not so easy. And all people will not be doctors. Neither the inclination nor the expertise or the talent or punya karma supports it. So don't be fearful.
My question was, is it wrong to inspire a boy to join in an early age? Means,
No.
because
But
sometimes
what happens,
we may say
seeing
that
the
he has
long
not
term,
completed his studies or he has not fulfilled
it is
his
all
studies.
not required. But then what happens tomorrow? People may blame ISKCON. He became brahmachari, he neglected, he did not take care of parents. And also that's why we tell, okay, earn some money, make your parents financially well off and take care of some measures. And then when you join, certainly society will blame, but not that much. Ill reputation will not come to ISKCON or Prabhupada. So for that reason, some factors can be taken into account. Otherwise, it's not so much required. If somebody is very financially well off and all that, he is child of very wealthy family, he can right away join. Maybe he's a Kshatriya or Vaishya family. Because Krishna says for Yogina, that Bhrashta, Yoga Bhrashta, 2 births are there. One is Shuchinam and Shrimatam. So Shuchinam is Brahmin family and Shrimatam is 2 are there, Kshatriya and Vaishya. Both are aristocratic in their own different ways. One through kingly order and other through mercantile community. So they can join if there is no problem. Only we have to see that no ill reputation comes to ISKCON. Wherever I go, I tell all the boys who are not married, I say you should all must become brahmacharis. Compulsory for 1 year, if possible 2 years or 5 years minimum. And then after that you decide. So some of the boys will come to conclusion that this is very nice life, but not for me. I have to get married. Then he can marry. And some may say, no, this is okay, very nice life. I think I can continue as a brahmachari. So continue like that. But then some boys may fearful. What if after 15 years of remaining brahmachari, I think of getting married? The thought comes, I am 40-year-old, 42, 45 or something like that. Then I tell them, if your lecture is in Hindi, don't worry. All those brahmacharis who sincerely serve in brahmachari ashram for several years or decades, afterwards, at later stage of their life, when I have to get married, for you, nokri, job and chokri, girl, Krishna will arrange. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. And I give example of so many of my friends, Radhesham Prabhu knows. They got married in later stage of their life. Money was not a problem, woman was not a problem. They got it. It's not a problem. This Krishna is arranging anyway by default for materialistic people, sinful people, money and nokri and chokri. And I say those who remain in brahmacharya ashram, for them, bakri. It's a Maharashtrian food. I don't know in South India. Sometimes some places I told people were like strange look. And I was wondering why they are looking strangely. Then some devotees told me, Prabhu, they don't understand what is bakri. So bakri is like chapati is made from wheat, that what you call flattened thing. Like that from jowar, bajra, there are even rice also. Bhakris are made. They are to be flattened with hand, etc. So our brahmacharis take delight in taking bhakris. I also take. So those who go out, for them nokri and chokri. Those who stay back in ashram, for them bhakri. It's all ensured by Krishna. It will not fall short. Yoga kshemam mahamyam. So I openly tell. All the lectures are recorded also. In front of Matajis, their parents, in front of everyone. I will tell that everybody must become brahmachari. Because that is the Vedic system. Every boy from Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya family would go. Okay, you may say, no, I come from Shudra family, Prabhu. But ISKCON trains everyone to be Brahmanical. We don't remain Shudra. We don't categorize based on birth. Guna, karma, vibhagasha. And ISKCON is giving directly holy name. Holy name elevates one millions of times above Brahman. Forget about anything below. So one becomes Vaishnava, that is far superior. So nobody can say that I cannot be a brahmachari. Every boy should become brahmachari. Similarly, girls should be trained at home by parents. Not that send them for graduation and whatever, post-graduation, PhD, that's not required only. Some of the girls I meet in ISKCON, Grahasthas girl, and the girl says, Prabhuji, I am planning for PhD, a doctorate. I tell, I pay my obeisances to your holy lotus feet, Mataji. Now, when I understood Krishna consciousness, I wanted to get rid of engineering only. But Raisham Prabhu wanted me to have engineering stamp on my name, next to my name. That because he wanted future of ISKCON, Sundarshyam Das, electrical engineer. That will help in preaching to many educated youth. So then I completed engineering and that's it. No question of post-graduation, doctorate. That I am doing in ISKCON, Bhakti Vaibhav course, Bhakti Vedanta course. I want to do PhD, double PhD, triple PhD. Not that outside PhD in any institute. I am scared with the thought. So I glorify those girls in that way. And they are wondering, what is he speaking? That is no question. Why should girls be going for all that headache? Useless it is. Futile. Not required at all. Take shelter of Krishna. Krishna will make you flourish in life. This mundane education is not required. Prabhupada is a spiritual slaughterhouse. So why at that advanced stage taking association of those materialistic boys and girls while doing PhD and all is not required at all. In fact, no mundane education is required. But okay, take some basic things, mathematics and all to learn. Up to certain extent is okay. But otherwise, it's all useless. At the earliest, one should come to that conclusion. Whole of materialistic affairs are useless. Prem dhana vina vyartha daridra jivan das kari vetan more deha prema dhan. This is the culmination. Mahaprabhu is telling in the 28th chapter, last chapter of Ante Leela. Prem dhan, this is the topmost wealth. The wealth of Krishna Prem. Vina, without that, vyartha, useless. Life is useless. Krishna rati vina jivanto miche hai. Life is useless without attachment to Krishna. So he is saying Prem dhana vina vyartha and daridra. He is the most poverty-stricken person. One who has gone for PhD, he's gone double PhD, doc and MD, DM, what not term, MBBS, MBA, BBS, all just Daridra Jivan. It's all poverty-stricken life. Because Krishna Prem is not there with him. If along with Krishna Prem, these things are there, like so many zeros, that's fine. Otherwise, these are all zeros in themselves. Maybe making it into a big zero, which is all zero only. Das kari, oh Lord, please make me your servant. Vetan more, give me salary of Deha Premadhan. I want Krishna Prem. This is what we run behind our Guru. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakati ache. Amito kangal, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. We always run behind. Even if our body is not able to run behind spiritual master, our mind should always run behind spiritual master. Oh Gurudev, Gurudev, please give me your association. I am very lowly fallen. I am bankrupt. I don't have Krishna and you have Krishna fully. One thing is to have money, but other thing has to have broad heart to be ready to give money. So Guru is not only having Krishna, the supreme wealth, he has that broad heart to give Krishna to one and all. So I am your disciple, I am a servant, please give me. आम्ही तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाई तव बाचे. Oh Gurudev, give me Krishna, give me Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. We should run behind our Guru, not behind these educational institutes. Give me PhD, give me. Because the PhD fellows also have to slog like anything. We have seen devotees also. I got that thesis fellow. He doesn't give only the thing. He makes him work harder than donkey. Donkey, by seeing these PhD people who are into it, he will pay obeisances. Vancha kalpadu. I could never, in the wildest of my dreams, think of working so much or overworking, which you people fellows work as PhD holders for pursuing PhD, for getting. This is all not required. This mundane world is not required only, but if at all, this materialistic education is not required. But what to do? Those who are not convinced, those who don't read Prabhupada books, those who don't believe in his words, okay, then go and then suffer to some extent or the other. Because all hellish. I have gone through how much painful it is to undergo that education. All materialistic boys and girls, all into, many of them into sensual affairs also. Very contaminating. But okay, theek, for preaching sake, we went through the thing. Some material desire was there to have us time. Not only he wanted, but I also observed very carefully. I had that material desire in my mind to let's have a stamp on my name, electrical engineer. It will help in preaching also. Also my spiritual master, I don't know which year I was in engineering, second year, third year. Once His Grace Gausundar Prabhu introduced me, took me and Patit Pandru, one of my friends, to Maharaj room, His Holiness Radhanand Swami Maharaj room. So Maharaj was sitting and four of us, Maharaj, Gausundar Prabhu. And so that time Gausundar Prabhu introduced that Maharaj, we go to for the program in the colleges, and these devotees, they go to hostels and other places and get the boys for the program and we address them. So Maharaj was very happy and he looked at both of us because he was a brahmachari, we were only student. He said some things. He said, see, he can come to, indicating to Gausundar Prabhu, come to your college, but he cannot go room to boys. But you can go and you can call the boys to some place where he can address them, and that way preaching will flourish. So in your whole of life, you can never preach as much as now as students by this activity. That doesn't mean that I should remain eternally student. And there should be a higher understanding also what he meant exactly. Tomorrow, if I also take Gaurasundar Prabhu's role, like a brahmachari's role, then that is good. Then so many other boys will be helping me. They will get boys and I will preach to them, because certainly a brahmachari is seen, sadhu, and he has so much knowledge, so much devotion. So the preaching becomes very fast. So all ground force is also required and air force is also required. Means both forces are required. So that was also one there. So I thought, okay, let's go have a degree in one sense. Rather than bringing ill reputation to ISKCON, Prabhupada, let's complete degree and use it in a positive way. Kaate se kaata nikalna. Whilst being a student in the engineering college, let me preach. Then I would go all over. Every evening I would come back. I would take bath or whatever, get fresh. And then I would get on scooter and roam all over Bharati Vidyapit area. I would think this is Prabhu Datta Desh. I'm the king of this entire Dhankaudi area. All the boys here are my property. I'll go to every boy I would go. I would take turn how to go. Monday these boys and then Tuesday. And because so many boys were there, scattered in hostels, rooms, etc. So good. I don't remember now what was the question and whom I was addressing. In explaining ground force, air force, I went in air. But I hope the question was answered. You asked. So don't worry. I will arrange for you brahmacharis, don't worry. Or wherever you are preaching to boys, you call me. I will come there. Yeah, tomorrow morning we are going to Gachi Bauli. Okay. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.